Hi everybody, this is Liam Martin from Running Remote, and in today's video we are going to be talking about how to use Zoom like a pro. 4.2 ninja tips on how to be a Zoom super duper ninja. Couldn't come up with another name other than duper. But anyways, we're gonna go with that. Stay tuned. So a lot of you are probably working from home due to a thing that I cannot discuss because otherwise the magical YouTube algorithm will de-index this video. So instead, you know why you're working from home. It's this thing, we've all been stuck in our houses for an extended amount of time. And the reality is that we're probably gonna be continued to stick in our houses for the next 6 to 18 months. So tools like Zoom have become an absolute keystone, not just for remote work, we've been using it for quite a while, but also just in general communication inside of companies and inside of just sort of social interactions. I've been on a whole bunch of Zoom video calls, just kind of shooting the shit and talking about interesting stuff, mostly talking about how much people's stock portfolios have collapsed, but that's probably a subject for another video. What I'm going to show you right now is I've been using Zoom for years, and there are some definite things that people have been doing wrong inside of Zoom, and we're gonna get into it. So number one is lighting. As you can see right now, I am relatively well lit. I am using a ring light. I'm using the newer ring light, and it is something that I actually set up right next to my desk. I just turn it on and it gives me that extra level of lighting that you wouldn't have otherwise gotten if you were kind of just using your regular lighting kit. And you want to be able to light yourself up directly. If you want to go super advanced, you can have a 3-point lighting system. So you can have like a light here, and a light there. I don't go that far. I just have this ring light, works out pretty well. 60 bucks on Amazon. I will link that sucker down below because it is a great tool and didn't cost me that much, and I look a lot better than the regular horrible way that I look when I used to do Zoom calls. Tip number 2, cool backgrounds. Did you know that you can actually put a background on your Zoom calls? I usually like to switch one out every single week. We kind of have this game that we play inside of the company where whoever can have the weirdest background is the winner. And it's sometimes a lot of fun. Just sort of gives you that first 2 to 3 minutes of a quick laugh whenever you jump onto a Zoom call. So I do that. And the way that you do that is if you just go into your preferences, you'll be able to click the background section. You don't need a green screen, but there is an option to be able to click that so that you can produce a green screen in the background. But I usually, since I don't have one, I don't click on that. And then the important thing is that you have a consistent background. So something that's the same color. So you have a whole bunch of stuff in the background, it won't work as well. But if you have a background like this, it's gonna work beautifully well. And you'll be able to have the foreground, which is yourself, in the background, which is whatever image you choose. Next one is audio. So I actually have the microphone that I usually use here, which is the Blue Yeti mic. I think this was $100 when I bought it. They're probably about 50 bucks now, and it's super heavy, really good high quality sound that comes out of it. And I use it a lot for a lot of the Zoom calls that I'm doing, particularly if I'm doing a webinar or something like that. I'll use one of these things, which are great. You can get a good one for, you know, between definitely under $100. There are some that are pretty good around the $30 range, and there are probably, I'd say the sweet spot is about 50 bucks for one of these things. Another one that you can use is the Bose Soundtrue Ultras. They're $77. They're really good. They just stick right into your head, and they have one of the best microphones that I've used. Outside of my wireless earbud option would be the Bose 700s or the Apple, I don't know what they're called, those little white sticks that drop down on either side of your face. They both have really good microphones, so I would suggest that you check those out. Get a good mic. Your computer does not have a good microphone. It doesn't really work well, and people can't hear you. And particularly if the internet is kind of spotty, it's super important to have a good microphone. This next tip is somewhat counterintuitive because it's actually quite difficult to do, but you can do it in a much easier way, which is setting up an integration point with your calendar app. So I use Google Apps for Business, which means I use the calendar app inside of Gmail, and the actual direct integration between Zoom and Gmail doesn't work that well. You need like super admin access to be able to create that integration. And since we have a company account with Zoom, I can't get access to that. I'm not the super admin. I don't know who is. I should probably go and check that out. But anyways, so I can't do that. So what I've done instead is there's usually an open Zoom room that you will get. So just go into your preferences. You'll be able to get that Zoom link that will be able to access any of your like Zoom rooms that you set up while you are in Zoom. And all that I do is I put that link as the default place to meet me when I am meeting with somebody through Google Calendar invite. And that way, every single person has that link. They just click on it, they go into the room. You need to be able to sign in, remember, to be able to get access to that particular room, but then that person pops up. The only thing that is a bit of an issue is the next person that's doing the next meeting with you sometimes comes in like 3 to 5 minutes beforehand, which is actually also a good tool to kind of get that other person out of that 1 hour meeting and then get the next person in. But that's the only drawback. If you want to do it the other way, you have to do a direct integration, and it's a little bit more complicated. But do that. That way you don't have to actually give people a Zoom link. It's just an extra step that people don't have to deal with. So if you are on a large Zoom call, we're on them all the time. Team members of like 5, 10, 15, 20 people. Sometimes we have our AMAs where we have almost 100 people on our calls. And the problem is that the ability to mute is usually controlled by the individual. However, there is a little bit of a hack for that, because if you have 100 people on a Zoom call and 20 or 30 of them have their mics open, you can hear them tapping on their computer, you can hear them burping, you can hear them doing all this other kind of weird stuff that you don't really want to know about. So if you click on Command Control M, you will be able to mute everyone inside of a Zoom call. And this is basically what I do every single time I start a large Zoom call is Command Control M. Boom, I've muted everyone, and then I can start to unmute people the way that I want to unmute them. So try that out, super easy. It should be the very first key code that you go for when you start a Zoom call. So those were my tips. Maybe they were good, maybe they helped you, maybe you didn't know about some of them, maybe you didn't know about all of them. If you did, please let me know down below. If you didn't, please let me know down below. Comments help this algorithm quite a bit. And if you really liked this video, why don't you subscribe to this YouTube channel? It's completely free. We talk about this weird remote work stuff all day long. See you in the next video.